Roxanne?
Yeah, yes.
Roxanne?
Yes, James Paul.
Now, weren't we going to do poetry today? Is that what it is?
That's right. I'm all prepared. I'm just going over the script now. It's wonderful, and I can hardly wait for Rod McEwen to come by.
About that Rod McEwen.
Yes.
Like so many other poets, he's gone the good way. He's died. You know, his
Oh.
poetry automatically gets better at that point. But no, he's not available today.
Did you send him a check?
No way.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we don't really
So,
have
I
a
don't know.
show.
Maybe we should change the show to something
What
else.
about concrete? We haven't done
We have
concrete.
poems.
Well, sometime.
Oh.
I have a poem.
You
Roxanne.
you have a poem?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
right here,
Roxanne.
right here.
I wrote this last night.
Yeah.
Well, how strange, how wonderful, how fantastic. All right.
At least.
All right. All right, now whisk away, go back to your cameras and get ready because you're going to be reading the poem on my show today, and this is so exciting I can hardly wait. Wonderful, wonderful poetry. All right, we do have a show.
Oh, Roxanne,
Yes, Ernie Obscura.
it's me, Ernie.
I
Ernie
know.
Obscura.
I
have
know.
a poem too.
Yes. Ernie,
Do you think I could read it too?
will you come out from behind the curtain if I let you?
No.
All right, you can read it anyway.
Thanks.
I'm feeling in a good mood. Okay. Thank you, Ernie. Kiss, kiss. Love you. I guess we have a show after all. Who knew? Oh, hello, and welcome to my show. I was just tidying up the pretty pansy that someone sent into the show. They said, Roxanne, your set needs more color and more, flowers or something. So anyway, here it is, and thank you so much. Kiss, kiss to whoever you were. All right, today we're going to do a whole show about poetry. What is it? Where is it? Who has it? And how can I get some? I just have everything right here. By the way, save the baby bears. That's a mama and that's a baby. And, don't kill them because they never killed you. Okay. Now, we did have a certain guest lined up. But I said to James Paul, I said, why must we have a guest and pay them, whatever, $50 or something, when we have talent right here in the studio? And who knew, but Tex, Tiger, and Ernie Obscura all have poetry, and it's so exciting. So they brought a poem just by chance, perchance today, and they're going to be reading their poems later on in the show. So now let's get down to business. Who, where am I? Oh, thank you, Tiger. Who writes poetry? Does anyone here know? No, they don't. I'll tell you who. Teenagers who haven't been kissed yet or even had their first beer. And the two events often go together. Beer and kissing, kissing and beer, kissing and beer. So watch out, all right? Single people who cry a lot at work. I find that they're writing poetry often. Did you notice how this leg is extended perfectly? It just happens. I don't know why. It just happens. And the doctors can't find anything wrong with me. In fact, they often say, Roxanne, you're just perfect as you are. And I say kiss, kiss to you too. Okay, what is poetry? Anyone here know? No, they don't know. All right, poetry is a way of saying something so that everyone will wonder exactly what did you say? And when you write this poem, you always have to say it with a little touch of condensation in your voice. You know, like you're talking down to someone. So remember that. Why do people write poetry? Ernie, do you know? No, never mind. Ernie doesn't know. Even though he writes poems, he doesn't know why he writes them. But I'll tell you why, Ernie. Because you've suffered severe tragedy in your life. And perhaps someone left you or broke your heart, I don't know. But you know, even if they did leave you and break your heart, you know, you can always write a poem and you get something out of it in the end, et voila. You know, you have a poem. So even if you break up 1,000,000 times, don't take it so wrong, like, oh, I did something wrong. Instead, look at that thick pile of poetry that you have on your desk and you just know, you know, that life is working just fine, et voila. All right. How do you write a poem? Pick a poetical subject, all right? A lot of people make the mistake and they write about, like, for example, peanut butter, right? And who left that peanut butter there on the floor? Tex, Tiger, Ernie? You can see it darn well. James Paul, look at this. Look at this. And I have to do a show while I'm tripping. Watch this. I'm tripping over to Skippy. All right? Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, it's just shocking. All right. Where do you write poetry? Now, definitely you cannot write poetry facing a wall or a curtain. For example, don't any curtain like this gray, drab. No, you're not going to get a good poem. A curtain like this, perhaps, you know, yes, all right, something like that. But even better is a view on, let's say, the sunny south side of France. That's a lot of fun. Or the rain. When it's raining, I find that that's the time to really write a poem. And did you see my tattoo? It hurt a lot when I got it. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, look, there's a little bit of cleavage. If you just look a certain way, there's a little bit of cleavage in there. Anyway, Paul, stop that. I don't need this kind of smutty camera work here in the show. This is a show about poetry, and poetry is not smutty. Although some poems have been written that were smutty, but usually they're just thrown away. Okay, why don't we go quickly? Well, before we go to our first clip, I'll just say, when should you write poetry? All right. Now, very late at night is the best time, or very early in the morning when you haven't slept at all. That's usually a good time to write a poem. And then really when you're crying about a heartbreak, again, as I said before, sipping red wine, playing Neil Young. Neil Young is a dead, perfect genre of music to write a poem with. What is that I see behind me? Oh, it's that darn foot. Oh, I just want to know who put this foot on the set. And I want someone to take it right away, because I cannot bear to have this kind of stuff going on, a practical joker, and I will find out who it is. And meanwhile, run the clip while we get this foot off the set. And this is a clip Bill Besson did some commercials, and way to go, Bill. Get the foot.
Are you losing your hair? Or better yet, think you're losing your hair? Have I got something for you? Ow.
When you get out of a swimming pool, is your hair all wet and drippy? Ah! Feel like it might be falling out? Oh, try pulling on it like this. Ouch! Does it fall out in clumps? Ah!
You may be eligible to join the Hat Club for Men. Our hats cover embarrassing hair loss and give you a youthful look. For just 6 easy payments of $19.95, you can join the Hat Club for Men. I'm not the Hat Club president. I'm just a member. But I joined for social aspects. My mother always said, join a club. I'll bet it'll do you good. La 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 la, la 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 la. Woo. Oh. And now, the Wig Club for ladies.
You there! Are you a couch potato? Are you tired of that spare tire? No, not the one on your car, the flab around your flabby belly. My new fabulous Flab Fighter 2000 can slim you down and make you trim. And the picture of health. With my new fabulous Flab Fighter 2000, just 4 hours in the afternoon, and you too can be spent. This was me before the fabulous Flab Fighter 2000. And this is me now. Only 6 easy payments on your credit card. Buy it today or I'll be back.
Poetry, poetry. I'm just making a little peanut butter sandwich, and I'm cutting it quite nicely into diamonds. Anyway, this is again a show on poetry, and yes, we have a call-in. Lots of questions about poetry, as per usual. It's not.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hello there, caller.
Hi, Roxanne. I'm a nerdy old fool, and my heart is breaking because I just realized that my wife of 15 years secretly wanted to sleep with the captain of the football team, Todd Big Nuts. He lives next door, and they go nude sunbathing every weekend at this motel in another town that's really inexpensive, and no one cares what you do there. At least that's what she told me. She don't love me no more. So I drink to drown my sorrows and don't look forward to tomorrow. I stare moodily out the window and listen to the rain, while the sound of my crying tells of love that is fast dying.
That was extremely poetical. I'm sorry to hear about it, caller.
Okay. Say, what are you doing?
I'm just having a peanut butter sandwich. Thank you for calling in, and I hope Todd or Ted Big Nuts hasn't,
Say, maybe Monday we could go bowling.
Whatever, really, whatever. I have a poem that I want to read as soon as the call-ins stop coming. This is a wonderful poem. Am I on camera too, Ernie? Ernie, how do you like doing camera? Ernie? I'm asking you a simple question. You could just simply answer it. But no, you take your job far too seriously.
Hey, Roxanne?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Okay. Alack, allure, twin moons of your eyes and pools shining on the eve of a lonesome hearty, fare thee well. I am a poet.
Of course, a poet would call in today because it is a show all about poetry. Gotcha. Always trying to switch cameras on me. Anyway, Ernie, do you...
Hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Hi, Roxanne. Can you help me, Roxanne? I am severely depressed.
I can help you, no problem.
I am a poet, and I cry about it every night. My mother had high hopes for me when I was born. She always dreamed of the day when I would go to typing school and make something of myself.
Instead, I disappointed her because I ran away to Yale University and got a PhD in poetical studies.
Really? Did it hurt?
Oh, it was wicked.
Yeah.
3 months ago, I was appointed head of the department because this volume of poems I wrote won
Wonderful.
an award. I think it was the Pulitzer Prize, but I couldn't really pay attention when I was getting it because my mom was sitting in the front row glaring at me with those, "You didn't fulfill my dreams for you, selfish child. I hate you" eyes.
Does your mother often look at you that way, caller?
Mostly.
Oh, really? Oh, it's terrible. Go ahead. It's breaking
so
my
anyways,
heart.
I
You're
quit and
sad.
started typing school.
Pardon me?
I quit my position and started typing school. And my question to you, Roxanne, is: was it wrong to give up give up and go to typing school, where I'm miserable, except for the times when I show my mother the pages I've typed, and her eyes beam with pride?
Well, caller, I think it is important that your mother is happy with you because she did give birth, and that's a heck of a thing to do. And she took care of you until the age of 2 or 3, at least, I'm imagining. And so, really, it's not very much of her to ask. You know, she simply wanted a son who would go to typing school, and, you know, PhDs are like that. Every taxi cab driver in New York has them. So really, you're not doing anything that anybody else isn't doing. So why not do the typing and make your mother happy? All right. Next call. Do we have another caller? Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hi. Yes, caller.
Hi.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm a duck, and my name is Quackers, but everybody calls me Jody.
Thank you for calling. Your call was important to me.
I love your show.
Kiss, kiss. Camera 1, camera 2. Oh. Tex is back. Tex, do you like your job as cameraman, or do you just find it really not that challenging at times? Do I have another call in?
Roxanne?
Yes, caller. Your call is important to me.
Roxanne.
Yes?
When I write poetry, my neck hurts. Is this a sign from God that I'm on the wrong path? I really need to know. Oh.
Oh, yes, it is. Of course it is. And I don't know why you even had to call in. Obviously, if you're trying to write a poem and your neck hurts, don't do it. Why should anything that you do be physically discomforting? Think about it. Very plain and simple. Paul, is that it? Are we almost?
There's one more call.
All right, go ahead. Poetry is pretty. Poetry is fun. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Hello, I would like to read a poem to you.
Oh, well, why don't you then? This is a show about poetry. Go ahead, caller.
It's entitled, I Was a Girl. When I was young, my dolls were my toys, but I had a sister who played with the boys. She'd throw a ball fast and hard, then she'd roll on the grass in our backyard. She'd climb up a tree and jump down to the ground. Then fast as a goat, she'd run around. My father and I would watch her with scorn, in her patched-up jeans, and her head closely shorn. While I in my dress and long curly hair would sit by my dad and quietly stare. But my sister would laugh and stick out her tongue. Before I could hit her, away she would run. Then I, with my doll clutched close to my side, would go into supper and sit quietly by. While Mommy would serve us the supper she made, then clean up the kitchen at the end of the day. And sometimes I'd see the trace of a tear on my mother's cheek until my sister was near. And then she would smile, and to my sister she'd say, "Don't be a girl, 'cause I never get to play."
Oh! Could we have some applause here in the studio? Because that was incredible. Thank you, Kissy, Kissy. I loved, yes. You know, a good poem is one that you can move to. And if you can't move to the poem, throw it away. It's really not worth it. Is that it for the call-ins? Because if it is, then I think the boys should get a chance to read their poems because they all brought a poem. And I want them to read them. It's important. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm going to set it up, and I guess we'll have, who's going to go first? Tiger. Tiger, why don't you come and read your poem?
Okay.
Don't be shy. I want you to just come right up to the mic. And Is it a sad poem? Because if it is, we're going to need some tissues.
It's a bit sad, yes.
It is a bit sad. All right. Here, put the beret on, because poetry without the beret is like cornflakes and raisin chips without a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. Here you go.
Okay.
And Tex is going to need a tissue because it could be a sad poem, so we've got to be careful. All right. Let me just, put my peanut butter sandwich here in the... All right, go ahead.
Okay, it's called Kittens Shouldn't Know. My lover, he had left me. My aching heart was yearning. I decided that I would kill myself. It was 10:30 in the morning.
That's good.
So to my house I went, that sunny summer day, to gear down for my suicide. Sad music I did play.
Oh, that's just far too sad.
I put on Michael Bolton and opened a bottle of wine. I drew the blinds to shut out the sun. I was having one hell of a time. My kitty tried to cheer me up, so I locked her in a room, then drank another glass of wine and settled into gloom.
You know, you really had a hard time that day.
I thought bad thoughts, and more bad thoughts.
Oh, no.
I let my imagination run. I was getting very good.
At being very glum. I'm sorry, it was a good line. All right.
The phone did ring, and I unplugged it, and finished up my drink. I was getting very drunk. It made it hard to think.
Yeah, that was a good line, too.
When I came to, my head did ache, but I was happy to be alive. I let Miss Kitty back into my room. It was 5:15.
So now you know the story of my suicidal plight. My broken heart has mended since my life is looking bright.
So if you're out there without hope,
a razor in your hand, take it from me, shut your kitty away.
Because kitties don't understand.
Oh, that was wonderful. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug. Okay, whisk away. Good. That was wonderful. Go away. All right, that's enough. All right, do we have another poem from, someone? Madam, do you have a poem? Come over here. Come over here and let me just make sure that you're not dusty because on camera everything shows up. So it's really atrocious. All right, perfect. Wonderful.
Right. This is called Old Love.
Is she close enough to the mic? Because it is important that people hear the words if you're going to read a poem.
Okay. This is the first time I've done this.
Oh, you're doing fine, honey. Go ahead, read your poem.
When we first met, you let me do my laundry at your house. Things have changed. Things have changed.
Things have changed. Oh, I like that.
When we first met, you let me sleep on the feather pillow near the lamp. Things have changed. Things have changed. Things have changed.
You don't mind if I join in
Not
at
at
times?
all.
Oh,
I think it
thank
gives
you.
it strength.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
When we first met, the water splashed all over the sink, made you laugh, now you frown. It brings me
Things have
down.
changed.
It brings
Things
me
have
down.
changed.
It
Things
brings
have
me down.
changed.
When we first met, just a touch would lead to an early morning. Look, honey, there's the Dawn Love Fest.
That's so
What
exciting.
went
Motley
wrong?
Crue, and I do
What
that
went
all
wrong?
the time. And
What went
sometimes I'm
wrong?
so tired. Oh, what went wrong? What went wrong? What went wrong?
When we first met, you felt blessed. Now you say you feel oppressed. So fuck you. So rearrange, make a change.
Let's exchange. Oh, that was fabulous, fabulous. And that was Pamela Sudomowski Lakatuski Wakatana. She's a poet from an island in the Afghanis, far away from Pakistan and India to the east of southern Europe. So, do we have any other poems?
I have one.
Oh,
I have one right here.
Paul, and Paul, excuse me, but you are wearing plaid again, once again.
It's a tradition.
It is. It's getting quite shocking, but anyway, that's okay. And I will let you wear my Harley Davidson T-shirt next time.
That'd be good.
Oh, no problem.
That'd be
yeah,
great. That'd
really.
be great.
All right.
Okay, this is called Your Love is Like Serotonin.
And the mic is fine. I just want to check because James Paul gets so mad when,
He's
I know.
He's very concerned about levels.
Really? All right.
There's
Let's
a
hear it.
drug in the brain, I'm not making this up, that calms and soothes and satisfies. You can smoke a cigarette or run 7 miles, and that drug will come down like a big fluffy cloud to cover your brain with peace. So there I was, jittery and scared, seeing ghosts in dark closets and black biting crows, when you came along like serotonin in the brain, soothing me, calming me. I'm so satisfied.
Oh, wasn't that inspiring? I love it. Thank you. Paul. And you just wrote that like that.
Yesterday.
Oh, you see, poetry does not have to be, you know, a big painful kind of thing. Where am I? And it can be something simple. So do we have any other poems? Ernie Obscura has a poem, and I'm going to take the mic over. Ernie is so shy because, you know, he once was bitten by a large dog on a movie set, and ever since then he's afraid to come out and face the camera. The dog was behind the camera, and so Ernie is always afraid that there will be another dog behind the camera. Which camera are we on? All right, we're on camera 1, Ernie. It's okay. Oh, Ernie, you better be careful. I just played a little joke. Ernie, it's okay. The doggy's gone.
Very funny.
Anyway, all right, Ernie, do you have a poem?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and read the poem, Ernie.
This poem is rich and full of symbolism. That is symbolic similes that are almost the same adjectives that appear like macula on the skin of thought. Salubrious illusions, alluding to, illusions, hiding, real rough stuff. This poem will make you weep and think and cry. Please
stop, Ernie. Thank you. That was great. Ernie Obscura. Everybody, a big hand for Mr. Obscura. Really incredible poems. Oops, there goes my microphone. All right. I guess now we're just going to have clip number 2, and this is Bandy, a poet from somewhere. I forget where.
Hi, Roxanne. I'm coming to you live from Paris, France, where I'm writing a lot of poetry and meeting a lot of really neat people, and I'm eating grapes, because grapes are just grown here like crazy. They make a lot of wine with them. So I'm doing really great with my poetry. Things are finally working out for me here, and I just want to read a few poems. And as you know, I live in a garret in this old part of France, and Paris. I mean, I have a lot of artist friends, and we're all really poor. Okay, here's my latest poem. It's called Manny Returns. I blow like the wind in and out of people's lives, never knowing if it will rain upon my head, and I will cry, "Oh, sister, mother mine, desert me not, yet forsake me only, with the birds calling my name in the ocean of roaring tears. I swim back to you and find nothing." Here's another one that I've been working on a lot. Say what? That's the title. Tell me, tell me, tell me, and I'll tell you. And just want to get comfortable for this one. This is called Alabama Was Never Mine. Sipping from a straw the cool lemonade of your mother's garden, I feel my breast weeping with the love we shared under the oak tree of our youth, upon your father's grave, sad man who could never hold you or call you sir. This last poem that I'd like to do for you, it's a Simpalian poem. I lived with them. They are somewhere in Venezuela in South America, down below Chile, beside the border of Guatemala, and right through Puerto Rico you can get to it. And they're a great tribe, and they don't like any other white people but me, and they adopted me as one of their own, and I wore a grass skirt and nothing on top, and I got a real tan. Anyway, this is a poem that I wrote while I was there. It's in Simpalese. Masha mohi ka kalati sishtush tumabani. Oh no, sorry. Bamana Kiki. Oh, Jacques Le Renard. I've got to go, Roxanne. It's been wonderful. Jacques.
All right, we don't have much time left, so I'm just going to show you how to decorate a poem. I have a poem here. Poetry is pretty, poetry is fun, etc., etc. And with a few colored pencils, you take them two at a time and you just zig and zag them across a page. And there you go.